Shell, thank you for taking the time to
Very
join us
welcome.
today. So today at the conference and yesterday we had the first ever Open Data Fest. Can you talk about how that came to be and just reflect on that a bit?
Well, it's very exciting. It is the first ever Health and Human Services Open Data Fest. So it was focused around health and human services data. And it came to be as an outgrowth of some work that we did over the late spring and early fall last year around interoperability for systems in Health and Human Services Agency. And that led to exploring open data and how open data can actually help us get our initiatives accomplished without additional resources, essentially.
So what are some of the benefits of open data? Obviously sharing data across programs.
There is that tie of sharing data across programs, but there is also the perspective of opening those data to the people who actually own them, which is the public. So open data has a specific definition. It is by definition not confidential or personal. So we're talking about things that might presently be available in a paper report or a PDF file, and what we want to do is make that available in a machine-readable format so that people who are interested in using those data to write applications against can do that. And when you look at open data from that perspective, you start to see the power of sort of cloud coding to solve problems. Where in government we may have a notion that we need to solve a particular problem in a particular way. In reality, we might not even actually be looking at the right problem, much less be solving it in the right way. So this helps us get that different perspective. One of the features of this Open Data Fest that many people don't know about is we had Code for America here, talking about how across the country people who are interested in writing applications against public data have been doing that to improve government. So we're very excited about that possibility.
So on the flip side, an open data developer, whether in the private sector or for the nonprofit sector, what kind of challenges do they face in getting government data? I mean, what's the typical challenge?
The typical challenge, well, there's several. One is that often the systems are fairly old and not very nimble. So if a report isn't produced presently, getting that report for those data to be available might be difficult. So one of the things that is a best practice in open data is start with the data that you already make available. Just don't put it out to paper. Just make it available in a machine-readable format. Another problem is, or a hurdle is, this misconception that there might be some leakage of personally identifiable information. And again, I'll go back to my definition of open data. By definition, it is not personally identifiable. And then this notion of identifiable at all with health data is a very big concern, because if you have small cells of a health event, you might be able to backwards trace to an individual. So you have to be very careful about that. And there are plenty of guidelines out there where other states and local governments have already tread in this territory, so we can learn from those examples and don't have to learn it the hard way.
So for government, how does open data relate to big data?
At least in the health and human services space, we are one of the generators of the largest data sets available out there. And because we have everybody in the state is potentially a data source. I mean, you can think of that as generating very large numbers of records. So open data is likely big data already. And then what do you do with that? What kinds of things do you do with that? And it's the possibilities, Bill, are endless. And I don't think that we would be very smart as a state if we didn't take advantage of other people to help us understand what we can do with that.